Creatine. After 50, who should not take it? Creatine is one of the most researched supplements in the world. It's affordable, effective, and commonly recommended for maintaining strength, muscle mass, and performance as we age. For many adults over 50, it can be a helpful tool to support resistance training, recovery, and overall vitality. But here's something that doesn't get talked about enough. Creatine isn't automatically right for everyone, especially after 50. While many people in this age group can benefit from it, there are certain situations where taking creatine might not be the best move. Individual health history, kidney function, medications, hydration habits, and training status all matter more with age. What works perfectly for one person may require caution for another. That doesn't mean creatine is dangerous. It means context matters. After 50, the body can respond differently to supplements, and small imbalances can have a bigger impact than they did decades earlier. So today, let's break down 7 types of people over 50 who should pause, rethink, or at least have a conversation with their doctor before adding creatine to their routine. But before we begin, drop your name and the city you're watching from in the comments below. Alright, let's get started. Number 1. If you have existing kidney disease. This is the first and most important one. If you've been diagnosed with kidney disease or reduced kidney function, creatine is something you absolutely need to discuss with your doctor before even considering it. This isn't about fear. It's about being responsible with your health. When you take creatine, your body naturally converts a small portion of it into creatinine. Creatinine is a waste product that gets filtered out by the kidneys, and it's also one of the primary markers doctors use to assess kidney function through blood tests. When creatinine levels rise, it can sometimes signal reduced kidney performance. Now here's the key point. In healthy individuals, creatine supplementation has not been shown to damage normal kidneys. However, it can raise blood creatinine levels slightly, which may complicate lab results. For someone with already compromised kidney function, this can make monitoring more difficult or potentially add extra strain. If your kidneys are already struggling, this is not the time to self-experiment. Even if creatine might be safe in small amounts, that decision should be made with medical supervision. Your doctor may want baseline labs, ongoing monitoring, or may advise against it entirely depending on your specific condition. After 50, kidney function naturally changes for some people. That's why individualized guidance matters. Creatine can be helpful, but only when your foundation is solid. When it comes to kidney health, guessing isn't smart. A simple conversation with your doctor can give you clarity and protect your long-term health. Number 2. If you're severely dehydrated or don't drink enough water. Creatine and poor hydration do not mix well, and this becomes more important with age. Creatine works by pulling water into your muscle cells. That cellular hydration improves strength, recovery, and muscle function. But that water has to come from your overall fluid intake. If you're not drinking enough consistently, your body can start to feel the strain. Headaches, muscle cramps, unusual fatigue, lightheadedness, or dizziness can show up. Many people blame the supplement when the real issue is low hydration. Creatine doesn't dehydrate you by itself. It simply shifts water inside the body. If total intake is too low, the system becomes imbalanced. After 50, hydration becomes even more critical. Thirst signals naturally become weaker with age, meaning you may not feel thirsty even when your body needs fluids. Kidney efficiency and temperature regulation can also change over time. That makes consistent hydration a daily priority, not an afterthought. If you already struggle to drink enough water, frequently feel dehydrated, or rely heavily on caffeine without balancing fluids, creatine may amplify those issues. It's not that creatine is harmful, it's that it increases the demand for good hydration habits. Before adding creatine, ask yourself an honest question. Can you consistently support it with proper fluid intake? If the answer is no, focus on fixing hydration first. When hydration is handled properly, creatine works smoothly. When it's neglected, small problems become bigger ones. After 50, the basics matter more than ever. Number 3, if you have uncontrolled high blood pressure. This one is often overlooked, but it deserves attention, especially after 50. Creatine can cause mild water retention, particularly during the first few weeks of use. Most of that water is stored inside muscle cells, which is part of how creatine improves performance. For the majority of healthy individuals, this isn't a problem. In fact, it's considered a normal and beneficial effect. However, if your blood pressure is uncontrolled or poorly managed, even small fluid shifts in the body should be taken seriously. Blood pressure is influenced by multiple factors, including fluid balance, kidney function, vascular health, and medication response. While creatine doesn't automatically raise blood pressure, changes in water distribution can complicate the picture in some individuals. If you're currently on medication for hypertension, this becomes even more important. Certain blood pressure medications affect fluid balance, sodium regulation, or kidney function. Adding creatine without medical guidance could make it harder to interpret changes in blood pressure readings or lab results. This doesn't mean creatine is unsafe for everyone with hypertension. Many people with well-controlled blood pressure may tolerate it just fine. The key word is controlled. Stability and monitoring matter. After 50, cardiovascular health becomes a higher priority. Before adding any supplement that influences fluid balance, it's smart to have a conversation with your healthcare provider. Creatine can be helpful, but only when it fits into your overall health plan, not when it complicates it. Number 4. If you're not physically active. Creatine is not a magic powder, and this is where expectations often drift away from reality. Creatine works by supporting the energy system your muscles rely on during short bursts of activity, lifting weights, climbing stairs, standing up with force, carrying groceries, or doing resistance training. It helps recycle cellular energy so your muscles can perform better and recover more efficiently. But without movement, that system barely gets challenged. If you're not doing resistance training or engaging in regular physical activity, creatine simply doesn't have much to enhance. It doesn't build muscle on its own. It doesn't replace effort. It doesn't create strength while you sit still. Taking creatine without exercising is like putting premium fuel in a car that never leaves the garage. The fuel may be high quality, but if the engine isn't running, you won't see any benefit. Movement is the ignition switch. This becomes especially important after 50. Muscle naturally declines with age if it isn't stimulated. The real priority should be building a consistent movement habit, even something simple like body weight exercises, resistance bands, or regular brisk walking. Once that foundation is in place, creatine can amplify the benefits. If you're mostly sedentary, don't look for a supplement to solve the problem. Focus on building consistency first. Creatine works best when it supports an active lifestyle, not when it's used as a substitute for one. Number 5. If you expect it to replace lifestyle changes. This is a mindset issue more than a medical one, and it's one of the biggest reasons people feel let down by supplements. Creatine can absolutely support strength, improve recovery between efforts, and even help with cognitive energy in certain situations. It enhances the systems your body already uses to produce and recycle energy. But here's the key. It enhances, it doesn't repair broken habits. If sleep is poor, hormones that regulate recovery and muscle repair suffer. If nutrition is inconsistent, your body lacks the protein and nutrients required to actually build and maintain muscle. If chronic stress is high, your nervous system stays in a state that makes recovery harder. Creatine doesn't override any of that. When someone is exhausted, under-eating protein, and constantly stressed, adding creatine won't suddenly unlock progress. At best, it provides a small boost. At worst, expectations become unrealistic, and disappointment follows. Supplements amplify good habits, they don't replace them. When sleep is solid, training is consistent, nutrition is adequate, and stress is managed, creatine feels powerful. When those basics are ignored, creatine feels underwhelming. After 50, this becomes even more important. Recovery capacity changes, and the margin for error gets smaller. The foundation matters more than ever. If you're hoping creatine will compensate for unhealthy habits, you'll likely be disappointed. But if you treat it as a support tool built on top of strong fundamentals, it can be incredibly effective and sustainable. Number 6. If you have digestive sensitivity. Your stomach might tell you before your muscles do, and that's something many people ignore at first. Some individuals experience bloating, cramping, nausea, or general digestive discomfort when taking creatine, especially if the dose is too large or taken all at once. Loading phases, where higher amounts are consumed for several days, tend to increase the likelihood of these symptoms. The issue usually isn't that creatine is harmful, it's that the digestive system is being overwhelmed. After 50, digestion can become more sensitive, stomach acid levels may change, gut motility can slow down, existing issues like reflux, irritable bowel symptoms, or food sensitivities may become more noticeable. A supplement that once felt easy to tolerate might suddenly feel heavier or more irritating. If you've had ongoing gastrointestinal issues, this is where caution makes sense. Starting with a lower dose around 3 grams daily and taking it with meals can reduce the chance of discomfort. Spreading intake throughout the day instead of consuming it all at once may also help. But here's the important part. Persistent symptoms shouldn't be ignored. If bloating or cramps continue despite lowering the dose, it may be a sign that creatine simply doesn't agree with your system. There's no rule saying you must take it. After 50, comfort and sustainability matter more than chasing marginal gains. If your stomach consistently pushes back, listen to it. Progress should feel supportive, not stressful. Number 7. If you're taking multiple medications. Mixing supplements and prescriptions isn't something to guess about, especially after 50. Many adults in this age group take medications for blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar, thyroid balance, or heart health. These medications are carefully dosed and monitored to keep important systems stable. While creatine is generally considered safe for healthy individuals, adding it into a routine that already includes multiple prescriptions deserves thoughtful consideration. Creatine can slightly raise blood creatinine levels, which doctors use as a marker to assess kidney function. It may also influence fluid balance inside the body. On their own, these changes are usually harmless in healthy people. But when you're taking medications that affect kidney function, blood pressure, or fluid regulation, even small shifts can complicate lab interpretations or symptom tracking. The issue isn't that creatine is dangerous, it's that context matters. If lab values change after starting a supplement, your healthcare provider needs to know what's influencing those numbers. Without that information, adjustments to medication might be made based on incomplete data. If you're managing multiple prescriptions, the safest move is simple. Check with your healthcare provider before adding anything new. Even something widely labeled as safe can interact differently depending on your health profile. After 50, stability becomes more important than experimentation. Creatine can still be an option for many people, but it should fit into your overall health plan, not disrupt it. So, does this mean creatine is dangerous after 50? No, not at all. In fact, for many active adults, creatine can help maintain strength, support muscle health, and improve recovery. But it's not automatic, and it's not universal. The key is understanding your health status, your lifestyle, and your goals before adding any supplement. Creatine can be a helpful tool, but only when it fits your situation. Now I want to hear from you. Are you over 50 and currently taking creatine? Or are you unsure whether it's right for you? Drop your experience or questions in the comments, and if you'd like a follow-up video on the safest way to take creatine after 50, recommended dosages, or how to monitor it properly, hit like, subscribe, and let me know. Because smart decisions always beat blind trends.